Start off with this little guy here. And hello to Jill, and hello to Frida, and oh, Sarah and Sammy are watching as well. So Sarah is, you're going to see your picture in a story. So this little guy, the green lizard, a lot of people don't know, but the lizard is a messenger to the god. And this little green lizard lived on the tallest tree in the entire world. It reached all the way up to heaven, but everybody knew that you weren't supposed to go to heaven. And so the little green lizard was very, very happy sitting on his branch. And one day he was having a little snooze in the afternoon when he thought he heard something. And he listened and no, it must have been his imagination. So he went back to sleep. And that night he heard the sound again. And he listened and he asked people, "Can you hear anything?" But nobody could hear anything at all. And as he listened, he heard, "Saidia! Saidia!" And he looked around and he thought, what? That means help. That means help. And oh my goodness, when he looked up into the sky, he saw a woman. And she was trapped in space, and she was tumbling and twirling and, help, help, Saidia, Saidia, she called out. And oh my goodness, it was terrible to watch. And the lizard had no idea what to do. And he went and he asked all his friends, "Oh, please, there's somebody trapped up in space and we've got to help them." But nobody was willing to help. And Lizard, he thought, oh, but I can't possibly help. I mean, I'm quite small and my smooth, shiny green skin, it's too soft. The only thing I'm good at doing is sleeping. I can't possibly help. But the woman kept calling for help. "Help, help, I'm twisting, I'm tumbling, I don't know how I got up here." And the little lizard thought, there's nobody going to help this poor woman. I'm going to have to do it. And so he started to climb the tallest tree in the world. And he climbed higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher until soon he reached the highest point that he had ever been. And there was still a long way to go. And he kept on climbing higher and higher, and the luscious green leaves, well, they began to change. They became withered and brown. And the reason for that, I'm sure many of you will already have guessed it, was because of the sun. He was getting closer and closer to the sun, and oh, he began to feel hot. Oh, he began to feel warm. Oh, he began to get very, very uncomfortable. "Help! Help me, somebody, please! Help me! I'm twisting and tumbling and twirling and I can't free myself," she shouted. And the poor lizard, he thought, oh, I'm going to have to help her. So he kept on climbing higher and higher and higher. And as he did, as he got closer and closer to the sun, well, what do you think was happening to his beautiful, smooth, green skin? It began to dry up. It began to crack, and oh, it was a little bit sore, but do you think he gave up? He didn't. He kept on climbing higher and higher and higher and higher until finally he reached up into space, and he saw the woman tumbling, and he reached out with his tail and he hooked the woman and he got hold of her, and he carried her all the way down that tree. And he laid her on the ground and he ran and got her some water, and she coughed and she spluttered, but she was safe. And he said, "How on earth did you get up to the top of that tree, up into space?" And she said, "I don't know. It's a mystery. One minute I was lying in my bed, and then the next minute there I am swirling and tumbling and crashing through space. And I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't helped me, Lizard. Thank you, thank you, thank you." And Lizard, well, he was very happy that he had saved the woman, but he looked at his skin and he thought, oh, it's all cracked and it's all dry and crusty and ugly and horrible and terrible, and what am I going to do? But do you know, even though he wasn't allowed to climb up to the top of that tall tree and try to reach heaven, everybody in heaven saw that he was trying to help the woman, and they were happy. All the gods were happy, and they said, "Do you know something, Lizard? Your skin is no longer smooth and shiny. It is cracked, but we are going to make it smooth to the touch. But we're going to make sure that everybody can see every single crack as a reminder of just how brave and kind and helpful you were." And that is why to this day, if you ever come across a little lizard, if you're lucky enough to allow the lizard to run your finger over his smooth skin, you will notice just how smooth and slippery it is. And that is the story of the green lizard on the branch and the woman tumbling, trapped in space. So thank you very, very much, Marcus, and thank you very, very much, Sarah, for your beautiful artwork. And I hope that you enjoyed the story that I made up for you. And yes, please, as I said earlier, if you haven't yet sent in some artwork, then please do, and I shall see what story I can come up for you. Yeah, so just saying a little hello to Debbie. Oh, lots of people are there, and I think Annie might be joining us as well. And oh, my sister Isla. Yes, good to see you there. And I hope Joshua and Mila are watching as well. So I know a little something about Sarah, and I know that Sarah also has roots in Kenya, just like me. So I thought today I'm going to tell a story from Kenya. And the story I'm going to tell you is a story about two best friends. And I'm sure lots of you out there have got somebody that you really love more than anybody else, somebody that you really care about. And the first friend in my story is Chicken. And Chicken's best friend, the person that she loved more than anybody else, was Eagle. And every morning, Eagle would spread her mighty wings and she would fly down from her nest at the top of the tallest trees, and she would spend the whole day with her best friend Chicken. And they did everything together. Whenever they were thirsty, they would drink together. Whenever they were hungry, they would go around and peck and eat as much as they could. They played all kinds of games. They did everything together. But there was something very, very special about Eagle. Whenever Eagle flew across the skies, everybody who saw her went, wow! And the reason that they all went wow was because Eagle's feathers were the most beautiful feathers that you could imagine. Their feathers were purple, they were pink, they were blue, they were green, silver, gold, sparkling and twinkling. She was beautiful. And even though Chicken loved her friend, sometimes she did feel a little bit ordinary. And she thought, I wish that I had just one beautiful colour. I'm all brown and red and a little bit of black, a little bit of white, nothing special at all. Oh no, this is no good. So she decided to ask her friend for some help. She went to Eagle and she said, oh, Eagle, my best friend, could you just tell me how you get such colourful feathers? And Eagle, she said something she should never ever have said. She said, I'm not going to tell you because it's a secret. Now, for those of you who've got a best friend, imagine if you found out that they were keeping a secret from you. Would you be happy? No, me neither. And Chicken, she began to pester Eagle every single day. Oh, please, Eagle, tell me your secret. Oh, please, Eagle, I'll do anything if you tell me your secret. I'll do all the horrible jobs. Just tell me your secret. Day after day after day, until finally Eagle had had enough. And she said, fine, I'll tell you my secret, but you're not allowed to tell anybody else. Oh, I promise, said Chicken. So Eagle, she looked around. Nobody was watching. And she lifted up her wing and she pulled out a needle. This is no ordinary needle. It's a magic needle. And whenever I see a rainbow high in the sky, I take my magic needle and I fly up and I can catch any colour that I want. I sew them onto my feathers, and that is why I am so colourful. And then she took her needle and she put it safely back underneath her wing. But now that Chicken knew the story, knew the secret, well, she couldn't believe it. She said, oh, please, may I borrow that needle? Oh, not for long, just maybe a week or a few days. And of course, Eagle said, no, there's only one magic needle in the entire world, and I am not giving it to anybody, not even you. Well, every single day, Chicken pleaded, she begged, she harassed, she threw herself on the ground, she clung to Eagle's feathers, she clung to Eagle's feet, until finally Eagle said, "Fine, you can have it for 1 day only. You're not allowed to scratch my needle. You're not allowed to bend the tip. You are not allowed to break my needle in two. I want it back in exactly the same condition that I gave it to you. And if anything happens to my needle, then our friendship is over." Well, of course, Chicken agreed. "Yes, I promise I will guard it with my life." And so Eagle lifted up her wing and pulled out the needle and handed it quite reluctantly to Chicken. And Chicken, she grabbed hold of that needle. "Oh, thank you, thank you." And safely she put it underneath her wing. And she promised Eagle that everything would be fine. And Eagle said, "Good, because if anything happens to my needle, remember what I said. Our friendship is over." And with that, whoosh, she flew back up to her nest at the top of the trees. And Chicken, she had the needle and she knew exactly where she was going. Behind her little nest, there was a forest, and in the middle of that forest, there was a place where there were no trees. And because there were no trees, it meant that the sunshine could enter, the rain could pour down, and right there at the bottom of that shaft of light, there were the most beautiful flowers that you could imagine. Oh, she could hardly wait, and she gathered her tiny little baby chicks, and off they went into the forest. Oh, they tweeted and chirped excitedly, but as they walked faster and faster and faster, oh, the little chicks, they began to get quite hot, quite sweaty. "Oh, are we nearly there yet? Are we nearly there yet? Tweet, 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 tweet. Are we nearly there yet?" But Chicken knew she had to get into the forest, get those colors, and get back out before it became dark, because strange things come out at night. But she hurried them on, and suddenly, whoosh, they were hit with the most delicious smell. It smelled of chocolate and candy floss and mandazi and all kinds of wonderful things. If you've got a favorite smell, you can type it right in and comment. Tell me your favorite smells. Oh, maybe some ice cream, some lovely vanilla ice cream. Oh, yum. Or perhaps some caramel, some fudge. Oh, the smells were delicious. And Chicken, she peered over, and there in front of her, she saw the beautiful flowers, every shade that you could imagine. And she thought, "Oh, not only am I going to look beautiful, I am going to smell delicious too." She could not wait, and she hurried the little chicks over. And when they arrived, they were so excited that they started to dance. They were shaking to the left and to the right. They were shaking behind. They were jumping, twirling around. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, they could not wait. Oh, they were so excited. Oh, we've had another lovely smell of chapati. Oh, delicious. And so Chicken was ready. She got herself prepared, and she lifted up her wing and, oh no, where is it? Where is that needle? She started to look around, and there was no needle anywhere. The chicks were looking under behind the flowers, around the bushes. They were checking underneath the leaves. They ran around the trees and the trunks, but no, there was no needle anywhere. And Chicken, she looked up and she could see that the sun was passing very quickly and it would soon be dark. And she had to get her chicks to safety. She didn't want to be out there when the owls were busy or foxes or strange animals out there in the middle of the dark forest. No! And so slowly and sadly she turned around and she left the forest. And that night, she could hardly sleep. She tossed and she turned and she dreamt that she found the needle, and she woke up and it was all just a dream. And in the morning, whoosh, Eagle flew down from her nest at the top of the trees, and she was surprised to see Chicken looking exactly the same as she had always looked. Maybe Chicken has changed her mind. Chicken, where's my needle? Well, I put it under my wing, and it was very, very safe, and then we went into the forest, you know, behind where we live. Chicken, where is my needle? Well, we walked and oh, it was very, very hot, and we were walking really fast, and then suddenly there was this lovely smell, and it smelled of vanilla and caramel and chapati and all kinds of wonderful things. Chicken, where is my needle? And then we saw the flowers, and we were so excited, and we started to dance. Chicken, where is my needle? I lost it. I'm sorry. I don't know how it happened, but we were dancing, and it must have fallen, and we've looked everywhere, but I just cannot find it. What? You've lost my needle? The only magic needle of its kind in the entire world? I told you not to scratch it. I told you not to bend the tip. I told you not to snap it in two. And now you tell me that you have lost it? I warned you, Chicken. Our friendship is over. And whoosh, she flew back up to her nest at the top of the trees. And poor Chicken. Oh, she was devastated. She didn't know what to do, and for 3 whole days she moped around, and then she realized how much she missed her friend. She missed all the giggles. She missed all the laughter. She missed all the hugs and the cuddles and the games, and she missed her friend. And she knew that she had to get her best friend back. And so she decided that the only way to do that was, of course, to do what? Yeah, you guessed it. It was to find that needle. And so to this day, if you ever find yourselves in Kenya, or actually anywhere in the world, in Scotland or in Abu Dhabi like Hawla, who's just joined us, or anywhere, Uganda or Japan or America or Mexico, anywhere, Colombia, anywhere at all, if you ever see a chicken, have a really good look, because the chicken, they're scratching the ground with their little feet, and a lot of people think that they're looking for food, but you and I, we know better. And let's just hope that one day Chicken does find that needle and the two of them can become best friends again. But for now, that is my story for this evening, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you're getting ready for bed, then I wish you very, very sweet dreams. Thank you very, very much for joining me. And oh, I see Melissa and Alice have joined us. So I hope you've got all the story. And if you didn't catch it from the very beginning, then you can always look back and see it later. But yes, as I said, please do send me your wonderful artworks. Thanks again, Marcus and Sarah, for sending in your beautiful art today. And yes, I hope that you will join me tomorrow for another adventure. And if you do have a story of a place in particular, then please do let me know. Thank you very much, and kwaheri. Goodbye.